Mono means one and chroma means color. So that's an easy, simple way to remember monochromatic means one color. So the hue that we're going to choose for this is I'm going to actually use red. So again, the hue is the color's name. So we're going to use red in our example. And I think what would help is actually if we took just a minute, because it says one color plus its shades and tints. So if we don't know what a shade and a tint is yet, let's just slide over to this box here. Okay, and it says value is the lightness or darkness of a color. So a shade is when you add a certain color is added to create a dark color. So if we use kind of our process of elimination or common sense, we could assume that a shade, you're going to add black. Okay, so black is added to create a dark color. For a tint, blank is added to create a light color. So in order to make a tint, we're going to add white. Okay. We have one final category in our value, which is called a tone. So I want you to add this one to your notes. Okay. A tone is when gray, okay, is added. We're going to underline gray here to make, let's use make, a muted color. Okay, so if we add gray, it's going to kind of dull out or mute the color. Okay, so now that we know this, okay, monochromatic, we're using shades and tints. That means we're going to add black and white to our colors of red. Okay, so if I add black to red, the color that we might get is kind of a maroon. If we add white to red, we might get kind of a pink. So here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to take my red colored pencil here, and I'm going to start kind of just off to the left-hand side here. I am right-handed, so I'm going to start on the left. And I'm going to press just with medium pressure. And then as I work towards the right, I'm going to start lightening up my pressure so that it slowly gets lighter and lighter as I work to the right. Eventually I can kind of just skinny it up and taper it off a little bit. So in this example, I'm not going to use a white colored pencil to go over the top. Okay? I just lightened up my pressure to kind of give the indication that it got lighter like a tint. Okay? But I'm going to use black to add my shade. So I am going to just lightly go over the top of the red on the left-hand side here. And same concept, I'm just going to ease up on my pencil pressure as I work to the right so that it creates kind of that transition. If I need to, I can go back again, kind of darken it up a little bit. And just gently ease up on my pressure as I work to the right. So I should have kind of this maroonish color or red plus black, then I should have red, and then I should have a lighter value of red that looks almost pinkish or just a lighter tone of red. Okay, so that covers our monochromatic. We've covered our value. Now let's just talk about some neutral colors. So what are some examples of neutral colors? So a neutral color, we kind of think of it as I guess maybe some of your earth tones can be neutral colors, but there's actually going to be 4 of them. So if you want to make an extra shape just off to the side here, okay, and our 4 neutral colors that we are going to be working with are going to be brown, so BR, okay, and then black, BL, okay, gray, and white. Okay, so our neutral colors, we're going to call those 4 our neutral colors. So I'm just going to take my brown, fill it in. And my black. In order to make gray, you could either try to use your black just really, really lightly, or you could switch to your pencil. If you have an actual gray colored pencil in your kit, you could use that. So I'm just going to use my regular old school pencil. That's fine. It'll give me a gray value. If I want to, like my black looks a little gray, so I could go back and do my black again. Make it a little darker. And white, I'm just going to leave that one white. So those are our other 3 color schemes that we need to add to analogous and complementary. And then let's just talk about, just for a moment, split complementary. As I say, you're not necessarily going to get assessed about this, but I think it's important to talk about it. So Split complementary is made up of 3 hues. First, you choose your main color and then select the 2 colors on either side of its complement. So when I go up to my color wheel here, if I choose red as my main color, and then the complement would be green, right? But it's saying that I need to take the 2 colors that are on either side of that complement. So the correct combination would be red and then yellow green and blue green in order to make a split complement. Let's do another example. If I chose violet as my main color, I'd see that the complement is yellow, but again, I'm just going to use the 2 colors that are on either side. So it would be like violet, yellow, orange, and yellow green would make a color scheme set. Okay, that is split complementary. For triadic, okay, triadic is just a way to explain that colors are evenly spaced apart on the color wheel, creating an equilateral triangle. So a couple examples here. Your primary colors actually make a triadic color scheme. They're evenly spaced apart on the color wheel and they form that equilateral triangle. Okay, another one would be like your your secondary colors, so orange, violet, and green, make that equilateral triangle as well, and that would also be a triadic color scheme. So any 3 that are evenly spaced around, okay, red, orange, blue, violet, and yellow, green, that's another equilateral triangle that would evenly be spaced. So that just gives you another idea of some other color schemes that you could use as we work through projects, but for our understanding, this is what we're going to cover for our color wheel notes.